I thought the first person I'll ever have in my beautiful podcast studio will either be a rabbi, a doctor, somebody in science. But today I have a mystic, somebody that's really ingrained in what life really is. And your name is Chill, and your real name is?
Menachem Shavers.
Menachem Shavers. And I'm honored to have you here at the podcast. We still don't have a name of the podcast. We don't have a theme music for the podcast.
Wow.
But that's kind of how all good new things start.
I love it.
Blank canvas.
I'm honored to be here, brother. Honored to be your first guest. Honored.
So I was kind of kidding with my friends, about, how you always text in caps lock and how you're always with such vigor when you speak to people. I think one of the most interesting things about you that I want to touch on, and I think people need to learn from, is that every day of your life is
the best day of my life. Always. Always.
So how do people get to the state where every single day is the best day of their life?
Well, I would say the first thing you would have to do to get there is forget everything you've ever been taught. Start going within self, going back within yourself. You know what I think? To get there for everyone, I really don't know their path. I can just tell you my path, how I got there. And it was me forgetting everything that I was ever taught and start following what I've had inside me my entire life. This voice, this guiding voice telling me what to do. Once you find that, and I call that the I, it's like I am going somewhere. I want to drink of water. That person right there, when you find that person within and follow that person, your chances of getting there, I would say, are in the high 90s percentile.
So following the voice within.
Following that voice within.
How do you find that voice within? And how do you know that it's not something that's driving you nuts?
I love that when I'm asked that. It's just like this. You just have, let's put it like this. If you heard 500 voices, but your mother came in and talked and you heard her voice, you know that voice over those 500 voices. That's what it is within. You have to know the voice. I don't know. I just know that there's been this voice that I trust within, and it's like a father or a mother, but it's like I know that voice. And I know that voice wouldn't tell me to go jump off that building, go cut that person's head off, things like that. So you have to be able to, for yourself, to figure out, the voice. If it's telling you something like that, that's probably not the voice you want to follow.
No.
Now, don't get it twisted. I get other voices that sometimes try to tell me things, but I know my mother's voice. And when I say I say mother. I'm going to say I call I mother or father or God or whatever you want to call it. But what I know is I know that voice, and it's distinct over every other voice that comes inside me.
So outside of following the voice, you're saying the voice leads you to a happier life?
Well,
or is it your perspective on things that come across you?
It's all of it. I mean, it's I just understand, Menachem, that every moment of my life is a valued moment. And I understand that one of those moments will be my last. So I won't gamble in taking a chance of fumbling one of those moments because it could be my last moment. So I take every moment as if it's the last moment of my life. And it makes me focus more on the moment, like right now with you. I'm fully engaged in the moment. When I leave here, that next moment, I'm fully engaged in that moment. Each moment is the best moment. And that's how it ends up being the best day of my life, because I'm moment to moment. If I had to break it down, that's what it is. It's moment to moment to get to the best day of your life. Because sometimes you're going to have some moments that are not so great. But when you dig inside of it and understand it, it was great. It was just taught to you from someone else. Oh, if that happened, it's bad. Or if that happens, you got to realize that's just life. That's just part of this puzzle getting to where I'm going, what I call life. It's not that it's bad. I don't even believe in mistakes.
It's all part of the grand
It's
master
just part
plan.
of the grand plan. I don't see it as mistakes. I think we've been taught that, and that alone can put you in a moment of, I don't feel good because I feel like I made a mistake. I don't believe that. I think it's by all divine. Mm-hmm. This is something that, well, let's put it this way. I don't know how much you're into the Bible.
I'm getting a little distracted.
Okay.
Move the mic a little away from you because I think your beard is rubbing against it, just
Okay.
in case.
All right.
Oh, you're a lovely beard.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
you are a rabbi.
I don't know. I mean, they can call it. I don't have a name. I just know it's Malcolm the Truth. I know when somebody comes to me, I'm going to be truthful of what I have to tell them. I have no reason to tell someone something to mislead them. If it was a switch on the wall, and you know how you have a switch on the wall to turn the lights on, the switch for me to bullshit people doesn't exist. I don't have that switch. It just doesn't exist. I'd rather not do it. It doesn't resonate with me. I would rather just be straight up. Why? I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. I've asked myself all the time, why are you like that? Why do you feel that? I don't know. I just know I do. I know I cherish every moment. I know I look at life. Life to me is the lottery. And that's what I was trying to break down to you guys the other day. I call it the life lottery. See, because I understand that the state lottery is nothing if you don't win that life lottery. So we've been trained to look over. I get people all the time and say, man, how are you? Best day of my life. What you do, win the lottery? Yeah. Oh, man, really? How much did you win? I won the life lottery. Oh, I was like, wow. That's crazy how people react when just because I said the lottery, they immediately went to state lottery. And then when I tell them it's the life lottery, it didn't have any value to them. No, they just want to know that I win millions. And I'm like, without the life lottery, you can't even have the state lottery. So it's backwards. People have taught us to be backwards. They're chasing something, which we all would love to win the state lottery.
Why not? Yeah.
But don't win that life lottery that you won every day of your life. Don't win that.
I think something that I like to tie into Judaism is that one of the things that really enrages God in the scripture, it says, is when people waste their time. Why? Obviously, like scrolling or not being productive or being lazy about things. Wasting your time enrages God. It's something that he hates. There's very limited things that the Torah says hates or enrages God.
Wow.
One of them is wasting time. And it's exactly what you said. When you have the life lottery and you have the opportunity to utilize it and you're not, it's a smack in the face for all those people that are bedridden, sick,
absolutely,
in the hospital, and they can't serve God and they can't be productive outside of, because their bodies are unable to serve them.
Yes.
So there's actually like a judgment, Kabbalistically, like mystically, there's a judgment, if you're not utilizing your time, I should give some of your time to this person that could go further with that time. So it's kind of like this play. Are you utilizing your life to the fullest? Are you wasting your time? Because it's such a hard thing to grapple with. Obviously we have our days that we just want to kick it on the couch, open a box of, I don't know, what do you eat? Probably prime rib all day, a box of prime rib.
I mean, I eat pretty much everything. Tuna, raisins, salads.
You look like you eat more like a 99% protein diet.
I love protein.
To your arms.
but I eat everything though. I really do. Yeah, I eat a lot of chicken, steak, I eat burgers. I eat it all.
But you keep a healthy lifestyle.
I do.
And you live to your fullest. And it's just so fascinating to see that you come from a lived experience that translates to living a happy life rather than being told by someone, this is how to live a happy life. Is you almost made your own like roadmap.
Yeah.
And people in your area know you as that guy that says, anytime you ask him, how's your day? You always answer,
Best day of my life.
I should make that into one of those buttons,
You should do that.
on the podcast. You push it and it's your voice saying it's the best day of my
You
life.
should do that. You should do that. I wish more people could really find that within themselves, because you will be worry free. I worry about nothing. And I mean that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I already know the inevitable is going to happen. So because I know that's going to happen, I'm not wasting no time worrying. I don't know when God going to call me and say, I need you to come to the house. It could be when I leave here, or it can be in 50 years. That's the beauty of it. You don't know. So that's why you have to grasp what you know you have. The only thing you will ever own is this right now. That's it. You won't own anything.
I guess that also cures anger and it cures grudges. It cures.
Absolutely.
a
No
universal-
grudges, no
universal
anger.
cure.
I mean, you get people piss you off sometimes. It happens.
What pisses you off? You're the happiest guy in the world.
It could be hard, man. Someone jumping on a woman, beating a child, someone beating. I can't stand bullies. To be honest, I can't stand them. I love them, but I can't stand them. I will die if someone is beating a woman, and I don't care if he's the Hulk or three of them. I'll get involved.
You have any stories of you getting involved?
I've had a lot of stories of things happen in my life. I don't recall anything that
A big one too.
No, I'm not getting into it with someone who's jumping on their wife or someone's beating a child or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of things to happen where God was there. I didn't know at that time, but when I look back on life to see where I'm going now. That's one of the maps that I use. I always look back to see where I'm going now. And it's just a roadmap. I've been able to look at the things that were happening in my life. See, I used to be a big God denier.
Wow.
Huge. I didn't want to have anything to do with God. And I grew up in a church right across the street, Genesis Temple, AME. My kindergarten started in a church. So once I got to a certain age and I got up and I saw the pastors and taking us to the football field, and then I looked back and I realized that he was really kind of molesting us in a sense, laying on us. But you didn't see it. I just thought he was taking us to play football and he wanted to play tackle. I'm too young to realize what he's doing. But now as I got older and I look back and I can see,
it's weird.
Wow, that's what he was doing. You know what I mean? So it made me lose faith in the church.
So sorry.
Well, but guess what? It circled all the way back around. It didn't happen with all pastors. It was just this one pastor, and I remember that.
There are bad actors in every religion, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think the most powerful thing though is you don't need a church or a synagogue to know God.
No.
You can just walk through the field.
Yes.
Look at a tree. Look at a plant. Look at where we are, and understand there's a creator that's not human, doesn't have no flesh, is outside of time, right? He was in the past, he is in the future, and he is with us now. And he's in all things. And so what brought you to that next stage?
It'd been after me. God was after me, and I was running. It was a chase. I've had so many things to happen, Menachem. I'm going to give you just one little quick story. I'm going to get my taxes done. I'm in the car business. And a friend of mine had me to go to this house to get my taxes done. This lady was an just a professional accountant. I'm at her house, older white couple, sitting there. Husband walks in, a tall white guy, white hair. I see him, No big deal. How you doing? Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm Mr. Harper's, Kip Harper's finance manager from the store. Okay, cool. He walks off. It's storming. I leave. When she finishes my taxes, I get my stuff and I get in the car. It's storming. I run, get in the car, close the door, and as soon as I start the car, boom, 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 boom. This guy's beating on the window. So I let the window down. It's the old man that was in the house. And he just reached his hand there and said, God wants you to accept Jesus Christ as a Savior. Will you do it? Now, I didn't want to have nothing to do with that. But because it was this older man, I stuck my hand out and let him pray for me. But once he finished, I didn't want to have anything to do with that. This is God. This is like, I can remember one of the first stages as he's on his way to get me. And then it just keeps coming over and over and over again. I'm in a dealership one day, another dealership. I'm in Florida. The guy comes in, the new general manager. It's about 5 o'clock that evening. This is his first day at work. I'm back at the machine trying to get something out of the vending machine and it's stuck. So I'm pushing it. Boom, boom. It's making noise and you can hear it all the way out to the showroom. So the general manager comes back there when I'm pushing it and I turn around, I see him and I was like, oh, I'm just trying to get my food out of there. He said, that's not what I'm here for. He said, God came and he immediately started talking about God. I was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this guy. I run into the owner's office. I tell the owner, hey, this guy just came to me talking about God gonna save me and things like that. I don't do stuff like that. He calls the general manager in the office. Now, this is a job. This guy's probably making $300,000 a year. He calls him in the office. They talk for about 20 minutes. My office is out the front, right as soon as you walk out the door, glass office. He goes into his office, gets his raincoat, his umbrella, and his hat. And he walks out that office and he stopped at the office and he said, you will do what God wants. I promise. I said, no, I won't. He leaves. I never seen the guy again. He was only there for that one day to be the GM, but his whole message was telling me God wants you to do something. And I just wasn't having it. And it just keeps happening over and over and over. But the one that gets me, I'm in the gym, I'm working out. The strongest guy in the gym. He really never talks to me, ever. This guy benches like 500 pounds, man. His name is BJ. I love this guy. And he comes to me and said, I need to talk to you. Now, this dude is huge. So he's got my respect immediately because I know what it takes to get to this. So I'm going to listen to this guy. And he goes right into, God wants you to do something. And I'm like, wow. So I'm kind of embarrassed because I don't want to have this conversation with him, but I don't want to walk away from him either because he's just an intimidating guy. We go outside, we're talking.
Can't imagine someone intimidates you.
Dude, he's huge. I'm not joking. The guy was huge. I'm talking a big man, dude, just big. And he never talks. So for him to be talking to me, I'm shocked because he's talking to me out of all the people in the gym. And he's telling me, God wants you to do this. This was the word he told me. God just wants you to be obedient. And I didn't understand what that mean. I thought that mean follow the Bible. And to be honest with you, that's something I just didn't want to do. I didn't want to follow the Bible. There were things I was doing that just didn't correlate with the Bible, and I didn't want to follow it. So he's going on and on about what God wants me to do, God's want me to do. And then finally, I just said, man, I can't take it anymore. I said, hey, bro, that's enough. I just got to go. And I turned to walk away, and all of a sudden he said, the covenant will never be denied. And I just stopped in my tracks. And when he said that, that was one of the first moments I knew something's going on because I never heard that word before, only from my great-grandmother. When I was 19 years old, she said, baby, I had 5 grandmothers alive at one time praying for me. All praying for me. 5 grandmothers, all alive at one time, praying for me. I'm to my very spiritual Mississippi women. And she said, baby, I put a covenant on you. As long as you keep that heart pure, nothing's going to happen to you. I didn't think none of that, but that was the first time I ever heard the word covenant. When I turned away from BJ to walk away, I'm walking away. He said, the covenant will never be denied. And I stopped in my tracks. When I turned around, he had this look on his face, like with his lip up, like, yeah, they said that'll get your attention. And I was like, whoa. That was one of the moments that brought me to like, wait a minute, what is going on?
What's the covenant for you? For us in Judaism, it's something specific. It's the specific covenant we have is the circumcision that we do. That's our covenant with God. It's one of our acts that we do when we circumcise children at 8 days old. But what does a covenant mean?
The covenant that they put on me was a protection. It was protection. And when I tell you, Menachem, I've been protected like crazy. I mean, I've had things to happen that you just can't explain it. I've had a guy to pull a gun on me and point blank shoot me in my face, and the bullet did not go in my head. And my brother standing behind me and sees it. Now, I see that guy, I mean, seriously, I fall down, I get up, the guy is walking up the steps, walking back up the steps, holding the gun next to his leg, limping as he walked up those steps. Once I started speaking to kids, I always told that story, but I never had an ending to it. Because now I'm trying to find God, and I'm speaking to kids and I'm telling them this is something that happened to me and God protected me, but I didn't have an ending to it. Because everybody's like, well, what happened? I'm like, well, he just shot me. What do you mean he just shot you? He shot me and I fell down. The bullet didn't get in my head. I raised up. He's walking up the steps. There is a gun on the ground, which I had. I try to fire the gun in his back. It doesn't fire. The guy walks up the steps. I turn around, run, and go back that way. I know the exact route I went. I went down Division Street, made it to Edward Street, took a right on Edward, went through Decatur Memorial Hospital, went across Monroe, took the gun inside the house, gave it to a friend, a girlfriend of mine at that time, gave her the gun, vomited it on the living room floor, walked outside, and the police was pulling up and telling me to get on the ground. They took me into jail, only because people only saw me running by. 2 shots went off, boom, boom. And they see me running by with this gun in my hand. So people told the police I shot, but I never did. Wow. The guy shot at me. Now, here's the twist of the story. 25 years later, I see that guy again. This guy's a pastor now.
No way.
This guy's a pastor. And when I see him, he owns a restaurant. So I go in the restaurant. He's got his new wife there now. And he's like, oh, this is my friend, Chill. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. This dude tried to kill me. And I'm just, because we never talked about it. This happened, we never talked. All my life, I thought he missed me. That's the only thing I could think. I had burns still to this day, Menachem, under my eye. Under my eye were burns from that fire, from that gun, because he was standing on a step down at me, and I'm down on the step. He's on the porch. I'm down, so he was down on top of me. When I see him, I'm eating food, and I look over to the right, and he's looking at me. And then he said, Chill, I'm sorry about that. I got up, and we embraced, and we hugged. He's shaking. And when he's shaking, he said, you saved my life. And then I pulled away from him. I said, what? You tried to kill me. He said, no, Chill. I knocked the gun down from Bam, this other guy. He was going to shoot you in your head. So I knocked the gun down, and the bullet went down the side of my arm. Now, that's when it hit me, man. You talking about, look at that. I'm getting the bumps about to go back, the chill bumps over my body now. He was walking up the steps. I never knew why he was going up the steps, holding his arm next to his body. That's all I knew. That's the part I saw. He said, Bam was going to shoot you in the back of the head. I knocked the gun down. The bullet hit me on my arm. I asked my brother, was anybody behind me? No, there was nobody behind you. Only thing happened, he shot at you. You fell down. You tried to shoot at him. I said, Lawrence, what happened after that? He said, you ran in my backyard. And I told everybody to stand down because this guy was a governor, vice lord at that time. He's older than me. And I did disrespect him when I was talking to him. He said something. It wasn't that I disrespect him. I just said what I was on my mind. And I said it, and he didn't like it. But he said I ran in the backyard. I know I didn't run in the backyard because he had that pit bull back there named Satan, and it would kill you. My brother said I ran that way toward Martin Luther King. I know I didn't go that way because the guys were standing right there in his driveway, his henchmen, about 10, 12 guys standing right there. So what I got out of that, God was showing me I will split time lines up. This really happened. This is when I really knew God existed, when I talked to Lawrence. Now, I didn't know it at the time. I just thought he missed me. He's telling me, no, I knocked the gun down from the guy who's about to shoot you in the back of your head. And when I do that, the bullet goes down the side of my arm.
Wow.
And I saw him walking around with a sleeve on, but I never knew why. So that was one moment that was a change. My brother still to this day says, no, you fell down, you tried to shoot him, and then you ran that direction. I'm telling him, he saw one thing, Lawrence saw one thing, I saw one thing. We all have our story of what happened. And this is real, man. And the guy right now, he's, like I said, he's a prominent guy in the city right now, you know, has contracts with the city and he speaks to the youth. He's a pastor now.
So you guys made it over just in like immediately in that moment. You guys kind of embraced and it was all history.
26 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we embraced, man. He hugged me and he said, I saved his life. And he told me, these are the words he told me. That's the first time I heard God's voice is when I drew that gun on you. And God said, you can't kill him. These are his words to me. And that's when I started putting it together. Like, dude, there is something bigger going on in my life that I wasn't aware of. I feel this way that it's the best day of my life. I got these things happening. And now I start to go back and look back at it. It's like, wait a minute. I do remember. How did we get out of this? How did that happen? You know, just things I'm looking back like, how did that happen? I just looked over it because I just thought I was a lucky person. I just figured luck was on my side. But when I look back now, God was always there with me, walking me down to get me to this point. And I realized that God wanted me because he knew once he got me, there was no turning. There is no turning me. No one could turn me. You couldn't bring a shotgun in here and put it in my mouth and say, all you got to do is denounce God, that none of that you happened, none of that you said is untrue, and there is no God. Fire away. Fire away. Because I'm not going to denounce it. Because I don't have faith in God. I know God.
That's, you know, what's so beautiful about knowing God and how you're kind of showing the difference between belief and knowing.
Yes.
Is that's also the foundation of Judaism.
Really?
Yeah, because the idea is we're a people that Judaism is actually not even a religion. Judaism at its core is actually a group of people that they saw and they heard God's voice, millions of people at the same time.
Really?
It's the only religion, you can call it a religion, that's what we refer to it as. It's the only religion out of all the main religions like Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, that it's not hearsay. Like oh, this happened. Like I saw this. Like one person saying I saw this or I heard this, and this is what happened. Mm-hmm. This is a group of millions of people at the base of a mountain, all hearing and seeing the same visions, millions, and they're all tripping out. And they're all experiencing this godly experience that they can't explain. And they're all hearing the same voice and the same rules and laws. And just imagine overnight, they all started keeping the laws of the Torah. How could you inspire and change the mind of millions of people overnight in the desert to all keep such difficult laws? Like, okay, in 8 days, everyone's got to, circumcise their children. You got to now you can't mix meat and milk together. Now you got to do all these different laws. It's because they knew God. Mm-hmm. They felt it in their veins. They felt it in their being. They experienced something that has never happened since. It's a mass revelation. And that's what's so special about Judaism. But what you're tying to it is knowing God. It's not believing. It's not right. It's about knowing and serving the divine. And the purpose is understanding, what are we here? What's our purpose? How do we make an impact in the world? Right? A lot of people, when they talk about religion, they're actually talking about themselves. What I mean by that is they're trying to find ways to live a better life for themselves, and almost in a selfish way. How do you unblock your channels and all your difficulties, put it to the side so you can live the best life? That's not the answer. It's how do you unblock those difficulties so that you can be a service to others
Yes. Yes.
and also serve God in that way. It's not just so you can live your best life. It's so now you can take on more for others. You can be more present for others.
Yes.
That's I guess that's also part of the Jewish mentality and way of life. And again, not all Jews follow the Torah the way it's supposed to be followed. A lot of them, unfortunately, they change the rules and the laws, which is against the Torah. The Torah explicitly says you cannot add or subtract from the Torah. And they go ahead and they start changing things. Oh, we're 2026. We got to change these things. The Bible is the Bible. And God said it's perfect. And we take his word for it. But I just think you have this way of living your experience. And I'm not trying to sound so like philosophical, but it's just you have a way of connecting with people, inspiring people just through the way you live your life. And I think that's very special. And I want people to hear a little about your story from Mississippi. Maybe tell us what that was like, growing up there and, your childhood a little bit. I think that really paints a picture of who Chill is.
Right. Well, I had one of those, I'm going to say Mississippi was a wonderful life. It really was. It was very simple. My mother was a teacher. Like I said, I have a stepfather who was basically my father, but my actual father was murdered when I was 5. And I still, like I said, I remember sitting outside waiting for my dad because he would come and get me or pull up in the car or something like that. It's so, I was 5, so I only have these vague moments that I do remember. But I remember waiting for this man, and he didn't come back. And my aunt told me, maybe a year after he was dead, told me that he passed. And that kind of broke me down a little bit. And my stepfather gave me this dog, this dog named Scoop, and I think my dad was inside that dog. And that was the day that I became a different person.
What do you mean you think your dad was inside that dog?
That dog was so connected to me, man. I was a little kid now. I'm 5. I'm turning 6. So my dad was killed when I was 5. I turned 6 the very next month. And my stepfather, loved the man. He really was my dad. He raised me, Taft. And he gave me this dog. It's a bull terrier, white bull terrier. Her name was Scoop. And she was so connected to me. I don't know, she gave me a sense of, I can't explain it, man. It's just that she was so close to me. I remember she would be when I would come out of the back door, I always came out the back door to get her. Because that's, back then there were no bowls or anything. My mom and everything just throw the food right out the back door on the ground and Scoop would eat the food, whatever it was, bones. That was like a major meal for dogs back then. There was no dog food.
You think we're pampering dogs too much these days?
I love dogs, so I don't have a problem with doing that. But
like pushing them in the strollers.
Yeah, I think that's a little. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine because I'm a dog lover now. I've had many dogs. This is probably the first time I haven't had a dog in 35 years, something like that, 40 years maybe. I've always had a dog. But that first dog I got, that was my first dog I ever got was Scoop. And that dog was so connected to me, man.
Tell us what happened. So you leave the house.
I would leave the house to go to school, so I would sneak out of the front door. See, Scoop only knew that I'd come out that back door, so she's always waiting for me at the back door. So I sneak out the front door to go to school, come back, go in through the front door, then I come down out the back door. Scoop is sitting there waiting on me. Haven't gone anywhere. Wait all day for me. She's sitting back there. We go. I get with her. She goes everywhere I go. And when I get ready to go back in the house, I go through the back door, and Scoop stays right there at the back door. So she was so attached to me, I couldn't. If she saw me leave, she would follow me to school. And I didn't want that to happen. So I would always just leave out the front, come out the back. She see me out the back. When I get ready to go back in the house, I go in the back. But that dog, I just felt a sense of, it was like a security, man. I don't know. It was just something about that dog. Now I look back now, I didn't know that then. I just thought she was just a dog that loved me. But when I look back then, I really think my dad transferred in that dog. And that dog gave me a loving sense. Like, immediately I had love for the lady that killed my father.
Wow.
You know, it's like the dog was loving me in a way that made me love her, even though she killed my father. She was still to this day, it's like a second mother to me. You know, I didn't have any animosity toward her. I mean, and it felt like that dog was teaching me, was showing me a unconditional love that turned me into a unconditional loving person.
And that dog came right after your father
Right
passed?
after my father, not when he died, but right after I found out he died. Right after I found out he died, that's when my stepfather brought me Scoop. I didn't ask for Scoop. I never asked for her. He just gave her to me. And immediately, something happened.
Judaism believes in reincarnation. I don't know how.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I don't know what the timing is like here, but Judaism believes that we get reincarnated into different things depending on how far we go into the game of life and how much we polish ourselves in feeling like we're living the best life and reacting to people in a positive way and not beating on women and all of those things, right? You start taking the next step in this game of life.
Yeah.
This whole experience. And the higher you go, the more you get to come back as a human, as a person, because that's the highest creation, highest form. There are others. I don't know if I'm going to get it right now, but there's inanimate objects like a stone, or a wall. You can come back as certain inanimate objects. You come back as vegetation. So plants,
trees.
tree, of course, trees. Tree hugging is a thing.
I do that.
You hug trees?
I love hug trees, man. People think I'm crazy. I do it all the time.
Really?
It's something about it.
But dogs piss on trees.
I probably haven't pissed on a tree before, but all I know is I'm connected to trees. I hugged a tree just a couple of weeks ago. I was walking from the gym.
We have beautiful redwoods next to my house.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah. So those are nice trees to hug. They're massive, and they have a nice texture to them. I don't know what kind of trees you like to hug. Palm trees, you could probably hug most trees how big you are. You probably get your whole arm around that.
When you hug them, do you hear what it's saying? Can you hear what's going on?
I haven't gone to that point.
Really? I hear what's going on. I literally hear it. But you really have to be for real. You have to block out. You don't care if people think you're crazy. You have to just put your arms around that tree as if it was the most loving thing ever and really put your heart into it, and you will hear that tree.
How long does it take? How long do you do this hugging act?
Maybe 30 seconds.
That's it?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
You zap right in?
But when I see it, I don't hug every tree. It's just certain trees will get my attention, and I'll just stop and hug it.
That tree needs a hug.
I guess.
You give good hugs. I hugged you outside. It felt very refreshing.
Man. I'm telling you, man, it's something about it. When I hug that tree, I get into the soul of that tree, and I hear that tree. And I really don't tell a lot of things to people because people are going to think you're crazy.
This is going to be told to the world
now.
Well,
I guess it is now, but hey, that's just what I believe. That's what I know. It's not what I believe.
Well, it's alive. It's a living plant. We actually believe in Judaism. We believe that trees, specifically plants that grow up, the reason why I guess all plants grow up.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them grow also downwards, like carrots and rooted vegetables. But a lot of plants, the whole idea of it growing up, obviously, we scientifically we know it's because it's going towards the sun. Trying to find a source of life.
Right.
But mystically, they're always singing God's praises. So they're always going towards heaven, and they're always in a state of praise. That's the mystical aspect of why they grow upwards, because they don't need to grow upwards at night. Half their life, they don't need to grow upwards. But what's fascinating is they're constantly going upwards and they're facing upwards. And the idea is that they're constantly praying towards the divine, their creator, in things. So we have inanimate objects like a stone. I always joke the worst to come back as an inanimate object. The worst stone you could probably come back with is probably that one stone at the beginning of Runyon Canyon where all those dogs piss on right before they go on that hike. That stone gets pissed on all day long. So I would not want to be that stone. The holiest stone would probably be the stones they use to build like hospitals and the temple, the Holy Temple specifically in Jerusalem. Like that's, again, you can see that even within an inanimate object, you have different levels of holiness, let's say. You could be that stone at running cannon, or you could be that stone, that's building the wall to heal people, And then there's the third, which is animals.
Okay.
Animals. So all animals, insects, animals, they have a certain level of soul.
Wow.
And those is the next level. That's right before human. So even monkeys are under that third category. And the human soul can go into any of these four. The hardest thing is coming out of these to get to the human stage. So us being human means we've done something incredible in the past.
To get to this level.
To get to where we are right now. Look at how many plants and inanimate objects and vegetation and animals there are. All those people, all those things are trying to get to where we are.
That's amazing. I never saw it like that, but I definitely believe, I feel, or with the insects, I won't kill an insect. My wife think I'm crazy.
What about roaches?
Nothing.
Not a roach?
Nothing.
Flying roach?
Nothing. I'm not even killing a mosquito.
Really?
I'm not killing nothing.
That's difficult
and
to do.
I just believe that it has the right to live. I didn't make that. It came here for a reason. I don't have to. It's like, oh, it'll do this to you. Well, I just won't get around it. But I'm not gonna kill it.
I don't know. I'm the executive roach director at my house. My wife makes me.
I would just pick it up, man, and go put it outside,
man. I can't touch that.
I won't kill anything that got. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you have to defend yourself,
Judaism believes that too.
If you have to defend yourself, then yeah, I got a lion trying to kill me. I got to
tear that open
myself.
like Daniel. I don't know if Daniel did that or Samson. Toward that lion's
I
jaw
get it
open.
then, but just a regular animal, snake, a rabbit, or
no, it says we're not. So, again, I know I always bring Judaism back into this, but this is the life I live.
Bring it, because I'm not familiar with Judaism. You're teaching me something that I have
You're also teaching me, but something fascinating is you're not allowed to cause senseless pain to animals for no reason.
Right.
That's why we don't hunt.
Hunting. Oh, you guys don't even hunt.
We don't hunt. Hunting because the way you hunt is kind of brutal. Yeah, like you can miss and then they're gone and they have their legs missing.
Hurt. Yeah.
The way we eat, let's say, animals is we capture or we raise them in a farm, let's say. But if you want to capture, when you catch the deer, like a trap, and then you kill them with a very sharp knife through the throat.
Wow.
Right through the throat. And what's so fascinating is all kosher animals, they have split hooves and they chew their cud, which means they eat and they spit it back up and they eat it again and they spit it back up. That's land animals. But you know what's crazy? All these animals that are in the category, and they're listed in the Torah, they say specifically what those animals are in the Torah. Thousands of years ago, this is written on the kosher animals.
Thousands of years
ago.
Okay.
It was written down what are the kosher animals and to stay away from certain animals. Like the pig that has split hooves but doesn't chew its cud. It's a trickster. It's like, look at me, I'm kosher, but it doesn't chew its cud. Internally, it's fake, the pig. But what's fascinating is all kosher animals that they chew their cud and they have split hooves, guess where both the veins that go across the throat, the veins that supply oxygen and remove the blood that hasn't been oxidized.
Right.
So the red and blue vein, let's say on the graph, they both intersect right here where they slit the throat. So it's an instant death. For example, the pig, when they kill the pig, if you want to kill it in that way, there's still blood going on the top of the neck where the vein goes on top of the neck. So there's a vein on the top and a vein on the below. So you slit it, it's still getting input from the blood going to the brain. But all kosher animals, like how can a rabbi thousands of years ago know you can't even dissect back then what veins go where, which one's supplying oxygen, which one's not.
Right.
And thousands of years ago they were able to tell.
They knew that
this is the way to kill an animal. But now we see that it's the most humane way because it's an instant death.
I don't want to have anything to do with killing them, and I eat it, but I just don't want to have anything to do with killing them. And but I sit around and I eat them. I just don't want to do it.
Maybe we should do our next podcast at a kosher restaurant. We'll serve you a nice kosher steak.
I'll eat the steak now. I just don't want to kill him. I just don't want to be part of it. Like I said, I don't want to kill any animal.
Before we sat down, I had no idea you hug trees, and now I might sit down and hug a tree.
You should.
Is there anything else interesting about how you live your life that people should know?
Man, I'm weird. There's a lot of things, I speak to I all day. I and this body communicate nonstop all day long. I'm literally a robot being told, turn left, go over there, get near that person, sit in that seat. It's like that, and I mean it. Like walk that way. Look that person in their eye. Don't look at that person. Smile at that person. Speak to that one. Literally, all day long. That's my life. I'm told to do everything. I do nothing freely. Nothing. I don't just be like, oh, I'm just finna go walking there. No, it's like, you're gonna go to the park. And then I go to the park. Oh, you're gonna go to the gym today. You're not gonna do this today. You're gonna look at this and read this.
How do you make sure you always have a pure voice and not one that...
Because I know my mother's voice. It's the same voice that I've been listening to since I was a child. It never changes. Mm-hmm. And it would never tell me to do something that would be hurting or harming anyone, any animal, any person. But it would tell me to defend someone who can't defend themselves immediately. Like, I'm not trying to go jump on a guy because he's beating a wife. I just want him to stop it in front of me. Just don't do it in front of me. You're not going to be able to do something to that child in front of me. It's not going to happen.
Are you like the Batman in downtown?
I'm not going to say I'm not the Batman. I'm not that. Things don't happen around me.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to be around more places.
Well, I'm always around, but they just don't happen around me. God knows I'm going to intervene. So he just doesn't have me around it. It just doesn't happen around me. But I know what's going on within. If something happens like that, I'm going to get involved. I'm not going to go over there like play Captain Hero and try to jump on the guy, but I'm going to stop him from doing it. If you're trying to kidnap a kid, you're not doing it in front of me. That's not going to happen. I don't care what you have. I'd rather die trying to save that kid than to let you get away with the kid and deal with the guilt inside that I didn't try.
So not only do you have a place as a mystic in the world, but I guess as a protective services, if anybody needs, you'll be there no matter what.
I mean, if it's happening in front of me, it's not like I'm just sitting at home and waiting on somebody to call me and say, hey man, come over. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying if I'm walking down the street and I see a guy trying to kidnap a baby, I'm getting involved. I see a guy or a woman or whoever, you're beating up an old person, I'm getting involved. You're not going to do it in front of me. You want to do that, you got to do that somewhere else. It's just not going to happen. The God within me, the I power in me won't let it happen.
Yeah, it makes you
and that I power lets me know nothing's going to happen to me. And see, I used Lawrence C., that's the guy name, that when it happened to me, that right there, when I go back in life, it shows me that you're protected. And I mean, that's just that's two or three things. Menachem, I'm talking about it's been happening my entire life, but I just didn't know it because I just thought I was lucky. Too many things. I mean, it's so many things that happen, man. I could just go on and on and on about, man, this happened and that happened. And now when I look back, I was like, wow, God was always there.
I think something I want to touch on is the fact that divorce rate is very high in the U.S. Someone that looks at you, they're going to be like, man, this guy's a player. He got huge muscles. He's clean cut. Man, he probably has a new girl every week. But tell the people how long you've been married.
Man, I've been married 35 years.
35 years to the same lady.
Same lady. And I was told to marry her. I didn't because I had options of many women at this time. I'm a young kid. I'm 23, and I got just turned 23. And I have many options. And 30 days before that, I'm at a wedding on video saying, bro, don't do it, to my friend. His wife was pissed off at me for a long time.
You're telling him not to marry the person?
Not to get married, because I thought it was the most stupid thing in the world to do for a man. Why would you get married to a woman? Why? Why would you do that? That's just the way I thought then. So you got to remember, a woman killed my father. So I had a kind of disconnect, even though I respected her, but I didn't trust women because a woman took away the man that I loved the most, took him away from me. So I was like, I'm going to not be that type of guy. I'm not going to be where I'm hooked with a woman or something like that. 30 days later, after I make that video, God tells me, I run into this young lady who I'm married to now. God said, marry her. And I'm not joking. I remember walking in McDonald's with her, walking to the counter, grabbing something to eat, and everybody, chill, who is that right there? I said, my wife, out of my mouth without even trying to think about it. And she got really close to me.
Aww.
She pulled in. And we
Was
were
this in
married.
Mississippi or was that back
No,
here?
this is Decatur, Illinois.
Illinois. Illinois McDonald's. That's
At
where,
McDonald's, Illinois, El Dorado Street. Walked inside. God said, marry her. I only knew her 3 days.
you gave her a ring in that moment?
I gave her a ring maybe 2 or 3 days later.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, but I asked her to marry her. I knew I was going to marry her immediately because God said marry her.
How can you, okay. We got to unpack this.
Okay.
A lot of men are confused. They're chasing after women every other day.
Yeah.
Or after their phones. What's your advice for unmarried women, or unmarried men to hone in to find their wife?
Follow your heart. Follow your heart and love who loves you.
But a lot of men are following their organ, not their heart.
It's tough out here, man. I mean, you know, I don't have the options that they have today. Back then, I don't have where I can look online and see all the women.
It's clouded.
It's different. So, you know, it's going to be a little harder for me to tell them how to do something that was much easier for me
A
because,
bigger test.
yeah, back then it was just, you didn't see her walking or at the store or so you don't see them. You're not going to go online and see them and be able to look up their profile. It was none of that. If you didn't run into them then, you didn't see them. You didn't see them at the mall, you're not going to see them.
Yeah,
So
this reminds you of something so interesting that you only knew what your living room looked like and what the people you visited, their house living room looked like.
right?
Nowadays, we know what everybody's houses
Right.
living rooms look like.
Exactly.
We know we go on those real estate websites and you're seeing all the different ways to design it, and it causes such judgment and lack of appreciation for what you have because now you're looking at so much input and options.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, you meet this lady, you walk to that McDonald's, and you have that instinct that like, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna have a great life.
The beauty thing was she was with it. God knew. God knew that woman was the woman for me. And when I tell you the woman for me, there's no woman in the world would have put up with me.
And how do you stay married? That's a whole nother thing. Finding the right one and then staying married is a whole nother ball game. How do you keep her cool? The wife's always right. I have my set of rules that I take from Judaism that helps me navigate marriage and being with a woman and making sure that she feels loved and appreciated and she's number one.
Right.
What are your rules to make sure your wife is appreciated and loved?
You have to realize that's your queen. There might be a bunch of other girls around, but this is your queen. This is the one that you protect with everything. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you go do over there. I don't care what you do over here, up here. But this is the queen. And her rules must be abided by. When she says, it's okay, you go out, you having fun, it's cool. If I don't want you over there with them, then don't go over there. It makes things work so much easier.
Make her the queen.
Make her the queen, man.
If you make her the queen, you automatically become the king.
You will become the king. There's nothing I have not done that I don't have with my wife's permission.
So treating her as the queen effectively crowns you the king.
Absolutely.
It's like an automatic hand.
It'll automatically happen because she knows that you treat her as the queen. I've never told my wife no.
I wish she was here.
I'm not joking. I've never told her no to this day.
That's crazy.
Never. I've never told her no. And then she's not like one of those wives like, oh, go get me a Bugatti. Or she's not like that. She's basically like I am. She's a straight giver. I want to just take care of the kids. I want to do this. I want to do that for the grandkids.
I think that's the most important thing was the foundation of it. Where if you really find the person that aligns with you and your goals and what your needs are, then that's how it's going to be moving forward. If not, if you're like catching this person over there, there's always going to be that chase.
You got a problem.
You got a huge problem.
Yeah. I would say biggest thing, man, you want to love who loves you. This woman loved me. This woman loves me more than anything. When I tell you she loves me, I don't care what I do. And I mean this. I don't care what I do. This woman loves me, and she lets me know that. I mean, to this day, this woman tell me I love you 15 times in a day.
Wow.
Just constantly. It can get to you sometimes. I'm not joking. It's all the time, all day, 35 years, has never changed. She's never changes. That woman I don't think no woman would ever treat me like this woman.
You're blessed.
I'm definitely blessed to have her because she puts up with whatever, no matter what. This is when they call a real ride or die. This is it.
Did she ever ride on the motorcycle with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was the first thing we did when we got together. That's how I got with her.
Really?
The first thing ever happened, it was a motorcycle ride. I'm out on the street clowning, doing stuff, burnouts, having fun. I pull into the car wash. She said, hey, can I have a ride? She jumped on the back of the motorcycle. That was it. We were done. We were together every day. From that day forward, it's crazy that you say that. Did she ever get on a motorcycle? It started from a motorcycle.
That's crazy.
Now, I saw her a couple of times at the corn dog place where she was working, and I seen her walking a couple of times, and it just be quick moments like, wow, man, look at that girl, man, and it was just quick. How you doing? Oh, I'm good. And she keeps it moving. But this day, I happened to just pull up on that motorcycle, and she said, can I get a ride? And that was it. We rode all night, and we were together.
Usually nowadays, people have to go on a date night, get dinner,
None of that.
buy them a gift, and then maybe...
She's so authentic. Our first place to eat was McDonald's. McDonald's, man.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
My wife and I, it's similar. I didn't have her jump on the back of my motorcycle, but we went on a date every single day. After the first day, we interacted. Mm-hmm. We met at our friend's birthday, and then every single day since then, we went on a date every day.
Wow.
One of our dates was going to Trader Joe's and drinking the sample coffees.
Man, that's beautiful, man.
We had sample coffees. We got
That's so authentic.
Got some goat cheese, and we had it on the side of the mountain.
You see there, you don't have to go to the most expensive steakhouse in the world. They're trying to impress her. See, that's just that magnet together is something very special, man.
Yeah, I'm also very, very blessed. Very, very blessed to have my wife along my side and our beautiful children. And it's exactly how you said it. It's you make her the queen. You show her she's important and she's number one, and you abide by her rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually doing that is actually the whole construct. I guess spiritually you can say is that it helps break the man's ego, makes them humble, and makes them a real divine servant. A single man always stays single. They're gonna think they're God. At some point, they can get so egotistical with their way of life. But a woman comes into the mix that you respect. She's gonna say no sometimes,
right?
And it's gonna break your ego, and actually give you more colorful life. Because not all your decisions are right.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Man, I'm not gonna joke. It's no joke, man. This woman is pretty much always right, man. I tell her all the time, like she'll be like, get this or do this, and then I won't do it, and I get right down the road, be like, damn, I needed that. Exactly what she might have told me to do.
Wow.
But she's been doing this forever. Every time I walk in the door, she say, phone, pager, just go through a list of things that we supposed to have. I mean, it's almost like a mother figure as a wife. Just say things to me. Did you put your deodorant on? Did you put lotion on?
She's very caring.
Just all the time, man. Just very loving, very caring. As soon as I left, she was like, I miss you.
So sweet.
No joke, man. This 35 years. 35 years, this woman still tells me, I miss you when I leave.
It's not 100% about the looks. I always tell people, when you're finding your half, just make them 70 to 80% perfect for you. Like make sure that they're 80% there. The 20% is where the compromise and the working things out. That's what builds the love, and where you're giving part of yourself. You're giving that 20% to them, right? If they're 80% right, that 20% comes from you breaking yourself and kind of molding yourself to be with them.
Yeah.
I want to share one thought.
Okay.
About a woman's always right.
Okay.
This might sound crazy, but in Judaism, we also believe that God speaks to the man through the woman, right? And actually, it's guiding you, so you can actually pick up on things through your wife, and it's a message. There's subtle messages there if you're ready to receive it and you're able to kind of hear it. What's fascinating is the idea that a woman is always right. She could be technically wrong about something, but by humbling yourself to agree and saying, you know what, okay, God will make her answer right.
Right.
I know that clicks for you,
It clicks.
but I want to break this down with an example.
Okay.
Your wife says, we only need to be at the airport 30 minutes before the flight.
I love this one. I love this.
30 minutes before the flight, Cancun, we'll get there. Come on, nobody's going to get there to Cancun 30 minutes before the flight. And your thing is, I want to be there 4 hours before.
Right.
Especially me. My armpits are wet before a flight. I'm like freaking out. Even today for business trips,
wow,
I freak out before my flights. So she says, let's say, and this is not a real example. My wife doesn't do this. I'm just giving a blanket example.
Okay, all right. I was thinking this was a real
example.
No.
I want to give this. I want to make sure no one thinks that my wife does this. But let's say she says 30 minutes before the flight. Some people they want it. Some people they don't. They're kind of lax with travel, and some people they're not lax with travel. So 30 minutes before the flight, you say no, 3 hours, or 4 hours. She says no, 30 minutes. You can now banter and ruin your whole trip and the start of an amazing vacation right there. Or you can become humble, remove your ego, and just accept her answer to be right. And by doing so, God will make her answer right. So what I mean by that is you say, okay, no problem. You're right. Let's just go 30 minutes before, honey. Obviously, you first try to communicate. I think 2 hours before, 3 hours before makes more sense.
Yes.
Crazy pushback, it's not worth blowing over or ruining the relationship. Okay, no problem, honey. This is what I firmly believe. God will make that answer right. How could he make that answer right? Well, he can do anything. What I mean by that is that flight could have been delayed.
Right. I knew you were going there.
By that 2-3 hours.
Right.
And then it happens to be that flight, that was the right time to be there, just 30 minutes before. And there are a lot of situations that are similar to that.
I love it.
Where God will make her answer correct by you nullifying yourself and being, you're right, honey. That's totally fine. Combating, again, you can give your answer, obviously. I'm not saying don't speak up. Do it in a respectful way. But if she's not stuck, but firm on her stance, go with the flow.
Right. I think it's just I choose this person to be able to kind of boss me around. I have no problem with that. I know I could take my wife if I wanted to. It's obvious, but I give my power over to her.
You're the giver.
I'm the giver.
She receives.
That's right. I'm the giver.
You're the sun, she's the moon.
That's crazy when you said the giver, because I thought you might ask me, like, what do you do, Chill? I'm a giver. I give either hugs, advice. I mean, I get so many people call me, man. Bro, so many people call me just to tell me what's going on so I can give my input on it, because they know I won't bullshit them. They know I won't. I just won't I can't do it. I don't even have to switch. I don't even know how. I don't know how to mislead someone. And it's crazy. And I'm like, man, why am I like that? I don't know. God did something to me. I just don't mislead people. It's just not going to happen.
I think because you have such a belief in this, it actually your word actually occurs. There's a concept in Judaism that if somebody has such a strong belief and it's their reality, it can actually alter reality. We're starting to see this in quantum and in consciousness and all these different theories. And the idea is if somebody has such a like almost like a brick wall belief about something is true, it becomes that.
Right. Your thoughts can become things. I know that. I know that. And when you mentioned that and you said faith and knowing, as close as they are, they're miles away. See, because faith, I believe, is like, hey, man, I believe that I'm going to get that car, or I believe that she likes me. Knowing is, I know I'm a boy. I know. I don't have faith that I'm a boy. I don't have faith about that. I know I'm a boy. That's the difference between faith and knowing. Faith is, I kind of believe it, I know it's going to happen. Knowing is, I know for a fact it's that. And that's where God pushed me to. Beyond faith, it's just a knowing now.
Do you have a certain ritual every day where you have a specific time that you pray? I know you're always constantly talking to your eye.
All the time. So my prayer is all the time because I'm always talking to I. We're always talking. I talk so much to him. My wife would be like, babe, you're literally talking like I don't know I'm doing it. But my lips will be moving as we're having conversation. And she just cracks up all the time because she said, you've been doing that for the entire time we've been married. It's never changed. Like she said, I just stopped asking, what did you say? Because I know you're not talking to me. Because it'll come out sometimes a little, we'll go back and forth. I mean, when I go back and forth with it's like me and you talking right now. It's kind of crazy. And I used to think everybody could do it. So I never brought it up to anyone because I thought everybody did it. I didn't know everybody didn't have a guiding voice. It's like you walking. So I know you walking. I didn't have to ask you if you can walk. I see you walking. I just automatically thought everybody had a guiding voice. And now as I got older, and I think maybe to my 40s is when I start really talking to other people who kind of correlate and think like I think. And they start telling me, no, man, ask me, how do you do that? How you think it? Like, I'm not doing anything. I really am not. I don't go into no corner and pray. I'm always talking to the God self, the I.
We say that b'chol derachecha in Hebrew. We're always praying.
Say that again.
We're always praying at all times in
Judaism.
Judaism.
That word you said.
B'chol derachecha.
Oh wow.
B'chol derachecha. So it's that in all our ways. So in everywhere we go, we're constantly praying in all our paths.
All the time.
All the times.
Wow, man. Maybe I'm closer to Judaism than what because I don't have a religion. I really don't.
Well, Judaism is the concept that there was a creator of the universe that has no body, has no physicality. It's connected with every single atom in the universe.
Wow.
And was before creation and was after creation, was before the Big Bang and will be after the Big Bang. It's this energy and this being that is constantly merciful and loving and constantly wants that conversation from you.
I did not know that, man. This is amazing. I never knew anything about Judaism. I didn't know anything about it. You're telling me something that
because everything you're listing is basically what like a prophet, like how they live their life.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that's like a Jewish prophet. Like that's how they live. They're constantly praying to God. They're humble. They're always seeing the good in everything. They're thinking everything's the best day of their life. In Judaism, we actually hold you cannot serve God in sadness, in sorrow.
Wow.
That's why prophets would actually.
You see that, man? Look at that.
Yeah, your muscle.
No, chill bumps on my body.
I see. That's why they call you chill.
That's called it's funny. That's crazy. They call that, but those are always my confirmation when truth of God is being spoken to me.
You get the chills. I get chills too.
You can't make it. Just comes up, and they come up huge.
So I think I got one too.
Man,
look at that,
dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I got some of that. So I guess we're chilling.
We're chilling, man.
So what's fascinating is the prophets. They'd always carry a lot of them, flutes, harps, musical instruments to get them into a happy state. I see you're always listening to music.
Yeah.
So they would actually play music to make sure they get into a state where they can receive that divine knowledge and conversation. It kind of opens the mind to start receiving.
Yes.
You can't do it in sadness. Because if you're sad, you believe God doesn't exist. You believe what's happening to you is not what's supposed to be happening. And that God, like sadness and anger, sadness is less of an issue, but like anger, we call it idolatry. It's like serving another God when you're angry.
It's called what again?
Idolatry. So it's worshiping another God.
Wow. If you're angry.
If you're angry, it's equivalent to worshiping another God. Not like angry, like, you stub your toe, like, right, angry like the one that gets you hot.
Right.
Kind of goes up to your head and you're kind of like, you're not yourself. Mm-hmm. That's equivalent to worshiping another God because you believe what's happening to you is not from God, from one God. You believe that what's happening to you is not for your best.
That's interesting.
So you gotta kind of eliminate that character trait. But going back to serving with happiness in prayer, and I see this oftentimes even in Judaism, they're not doing it correctly in like some sects where they're like always praying in sadness. Actually, the idea is, you're supposed to pray with happiness. You're supposed to have a little bit of a smile on your face. You get to speak to the Creator. You have the opportunity to have that moment with the King of the universe.
Right.
And you're supposed to be speaking like a servant, right? In a humble way, but you're supposed to be in a happy state. That's the whole thing. And again, the reason why they would carry these instruments is we're all human. We're not always in a happy state. We're going to have some challenges sometimes, but the more you work on that muscle to get into that happy state, the quicker you can get into that happier state.
Yeah, I've fallen into that state where I just don't get down, man. I just don't. I don't see the reason. You know why I think I don't? Because I know it doesn't help me. I know it doesn't. And that's why I stay away from it. I know for a fact if I get down, it doesn't help me. So why would I do it? I make the choice. I make the decision. Why am I going to do something that I know is not going to serve me at all? I know this. Not guessing, not faith. No, it's not going to help me. So why am I, like, if I know for a fact this is poison, why am I going to drink it? I know it's poison. So if I know this sadness is an internal poison, why would I do it?
Yeah,
because I know I know it won't help me, but I know it can hurt you.
Sadness, depression,
man,
and not having
turn the
purpose.
Cells around inside your body, man. Next thing you know, you got cancer.
Yeah, it
that
kills
quick because you turn those cells. Because what I know for a fact, the cells are listening to us. Our body is listening to us at all times. It hears what we say. I mean, I got a friend, and he believes and he knows it. I'll tell my body what to do. So you said rituals. One of my rituals is I tell my body that it's healthy. I tell my body that it's strong. I tell it that it is in the best condition it's ever been in.
Wow.
I tell my heart that it is beating at the perfect rhythm. My blood is flowing through my body. There are no bad cells in my body. And if there are, I am telling the cells that should attack those cells and get rid of them to do it now. Right now. I do things like that, and I'll just sit still and sweat will start coming out of my body. And I'll just sit there. I do sun gazing sometimes, so there's another thing I do, but you have to do it. Now I can do it at any time, but I started out, you have to do it at the very beginning of the sun when it comes up. And I would sit up and I just look at the sun and I can watch the rays come into my eyes, and I hold my breath for 8 seconds. And then I blow out for 8 seconds. I hold my breath for 8 seconds. I blow out for 8 seconds. By the third time I do it, I'm gone. And I'm not joking, gone. Like, I don't know what happened. And then I come back and I'm so powered up. It's crazy how much power you will take in from that sun. But you have to do it at a certain time. Now I can go out there at any time because I've trained myself that I don't care if it's 12 noon. The sun doesn't do to me what it does to other people. It doesn't damage my eyes. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I can stare at it and it does nothing but give me power.
You know, it's funny. Andrew Huberman talks about this.
Really?
Huberman Labs. He says the best light to get is actually the morning dawn. It might be the morning dawn or the
it's
either
either the morning or when it's on its way down.
Exactly.
Either or.
Those two, the colors and the lights that come from it is the most healing. And it actually sets your rhythm for your sleep. And
yes.
Sleep is so important.
And if you do it in the morning, it sets you up for that day.
Exactly. It gets you
You're
up.
going to be powered, brother. I'm telling you. I mean,
Supercharged.
Supercharged. I've got so charged before. When I left from being charged, I walked in and touched my wife, and it was an explosion. Like, boom, and it scared her. And I fell back, and she caught me, but I didn't know I was falling. And she was like, don't do that anymore. She was afraid, because every morning I would go out there and do it. But I would be so charged up for that day that, dude, it felt like you could just jump through walls.
What do you do? What do you do when, like, does she sun gaze too?
No.
Like, so what do you do when there's like a little bit of a differences in how you
We're totally
do your
different.
things?
We're complete opposites. Complete. She drinks, I don't. I work out, she doesn't. I sun gaze, she doesn't. I don't like TV, she does.
You're talking to God all the time.
I'm talking to God all the time. Now, she's got a little more into that. I brought her closer in that.
So how do you live with differences?
It's just I just love her. I don't care. I mean, that's just who she is. You know, I can't do anything that she doesn't want to work out. She didn't work out when I met her. So why I don't
can't
care.
change them.
I don't want to change her.
You know, that's the biggest thing the rabbis teach for newly married couples is your other half is not your guinea pig.
Right.
You're not there to change them and mold them into the type of person you want.
Right.
People
Right.
forget that.
Right.
It's not your mission to change them.
I don't want to change my wife. She's not going to change. I'm telling you, this woman was, God built this woman for me.
She what?
God built this woman for me. I'm telling you, because there's no other woman that could ever handle me. She was the only one that it was just something about her.
And how does she react to when you get charged by sun gazing and doing stuff? Or
Now
hugging,
she doesn't care.
Like hugging a tree.
Oh, she'll put me on video immediately. Yeah, she's that type. She likes to she likes social media. I don't have social media. She has it, I don't. We're opposite in a lot of things.
Yin and the yang.
So if I go to hug the tree, she immediately just gonna video it and just sit there and let me do it. And it's no big deal. It's nothing to her now. She know I just will hug a tree.
So
now, it's ain't like I hug a tree every day, but when I get it and it said hug that tree, I'm going to hug that tree, and she just will video it. You know,
That's so cute.
it's a good thing, man. It really is. I really, really do love living. I love it so much that I refuse to let something that is part of this journey get me down. I'm just like, it was supposed to happen. How you hear people all the time, they weren't supposed to win. I was just like, oh my God. I said, you know how you know somebody was supposed to do something? They said, how? They'll do it. And you know how they don't, how you know they don't supposed to do it? They won't do it. Right? You know how something was supposed to happen? It'll happen. If it don't supposed to happen, it won't happen. It's that simple.
It's not us to have to figure that out.
We try to complicate everything, man.
100%. That's called emuna and bitachon. These are all like
Say that again.
emuna,
Emuna.
bitachon,
Bitachon.
having
Emuna. Bitachon.
trust that something's gonna happen, and having faith that it happens, and knowing that it's gonna happen.
Knowing that it's gonna happen.
So this is all, and knowing is the highest level.
It's the highest level.
Yeah.
It
So we
is.
do baby steps. We first teach that God wants the best for you, right? And then the end goal is that everything is for the best, and
Right.
you know it in your heart,
And you're there, man.
and that's like the highest level sage.
I love it. And that's where I live right now.
See, this is what people have to be teaching in schools.
Like they should.
And teaching your kids at a young age. 'Cause,
Yes.
we say that children's prayers are so pure. They can answer right away.
Absolutely.
You know why? Because they believe it when they say it.
Right. Nothing has distorted them yet.
Yeah, and they're so pure. And what I mean by pure is that they don't have the rules of reality in place.
Right.
So they can mend and mold reality. The same way you can say at your age that you can know something, even though scientists will say it's not true, but you know it to be true and it actually happens that way. A child knows and feels something to be true and will ask for it and it'll happen.
It'll happen.
And their prayer is that strong.
I remember as a kid, I used to put my hand in a JCPenney magazine and I would just look at this little mini bike and then I would just close my eyes and I would ride it. And I'm talking about, brother, I would ride it for hours. I rode that bike so much in my mind when Christmas came around. We was a poor family in Mississippi, but we were rich in love, but we just didn't have a lot of things. So I don't remember getting really much that Christmas that year. And everybody stood up and said what they had. And I told everybody I had a mini bike. Now, in reality, I really had that mini bike because I would go home every day, get up under the blanket, take the flashlight, and I look at it and I just stare at it and I just put my hand on it and I would close my eyes and I would ride that thing. I would ride it so hard that when I got from under the cover, my body would be sore. I literally took in my mind that I was riding that motorcycle and I went to school.
You.
Yeah, I went back to school in 4th grade. I remember telling everybody in class I had a mini bike, man. And everybody went, oh, we want to see it. And I always would make up an excuse like it's over here or tire is flat. I did that, man.
You know what's funny? There's actually this motorcycle that I've always wanted when I was a little kid. And I remember that motorcycle more vividly than the one that I had.
Really? Mine was just a little trail bike. Just a little trail bike, little motor, like the motor that sits on a lawnmower and start it up like that and just gas it, man. I always wanted that, man.
You could probably vision it right away, like what it looked like. You could probably draw it.
I can close my eyes
and
right
go ride
now
it again
and ride that bike right now. I mean, perfect.
You're probably going into that dimension where it exists and you're actually utilizing it
all the time, man. All the time. I love doing things like that. I visualize so many things that have come true for me. The key is that though, I gotta really want it. See, there's just some things I'd be like, yeah, I like to do that, but I really don't want it from the heart. But the things I really want, they always happen. Always.
You have to truly want it.
If I truly want it.
Because the creator, the universe, it says it knows man's thoughts and its wants. Mm-hmm. It knows your thoughts. It knows everything you're thinking about. So the question is, why do you have to talk to God if it knows all your thoughts? It's the action of bringing it into the reality, of bringing it into this space that you are becoming partner with God in it.
Yes.
So he knows your thoughts, he knows your heart, he knows where you are in life. I just thought that was really beautiful that, he can kind of tap into.
So what do you think about when people say no one's perfect? How do you feel about that?
That no one's perfect?
Yeah, they say nobody's perfect. I always hear people say that. My brother always said that all the time. And I don't challenge them, but see, there's something inside that I know, and I just sit back and I just listen because I don't agree with them.
You think everyone's perfect?
I think everybody's perfect. I think everybody's perfectly them. Because think about this. God made us, right? Is God perfect?
Yes.
Does God make any mistakes?
No.
And God knew everything I was going to do, built in his image before I ever did it, right? He knew what I was going to do. How could I be messing up? How can I not be perfect when God knew what I was gonna do? Because they go back, well, you have freedom of choice. I'm like, no, God knew I was gonna do this. And God is perfect. God don't make mistakes. So when I do something and I do, man comes in and say, oh, that was a mistake because of man rules of what he said. But I don't agree. I'm the only person on the planet with this fingerprint? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So then who are you judging me up against when there's only one? I'm a one-off. I understand that you're over there and you're a human, but my fingerprint is not yours. We're different.
We're always
even though we look the same. We're one-off, man. One of one. So how can I not be perfect when it's only one of me?
I think that's obviously the truth, I think, but what people have to grapple with until they get to that stage is when they say no one's perfect, I feel like it's just to remind them to not be so hard on themselves when they don't succeed at what they're trying to get to or do or how they look and how they feel and stuff like that. It's kind of to remind them. But I do agree with you that once you start really believing that you are where you're supposed to be and doing what you're supposed to be doing in that moment, things actually start changing for the best.
Yes. What do you think success is? What is success to you? Success
is living with your purpose and being able to serve others and in the community and constantly growing in your understanding and knowledge of the world. And
we're on the same page. I just want to hear what you had to say because we're on the page. My whole idea, I remember when a guy asked me, I used to be on this radio show in Tampa, the Call for Help show. And I had someone ask me before and they were saying success. My idea for success was Anyone who can follow their inner self, no matter what the outside is telling them, stay with what you believe within yourself, regardless of the outcome, and be okay with it. That, to me, was a successful man. A man that can make his decisions, follow what he believes in his heart, regardless of how it turns out, and still be okay with that. That was success to me.
I love it.
I just believe it has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do with if you become a lawyer. None of that. None of that means nothing. That's great in man's eye, in society's eye, but in the inner heart, nothing.
So let's do a quick recap for people until our next episode. Every day is the best day of your life.
Every day.
Life lottery.
Life lottery.
Okay, hit me with a couple more. Your wife is
Is your queen.
Is your queen.
Yes.
And you'll be crowned.
Love that.
Constantly talk and speak to
Always
the creator of the universe.
Always, all day, nonstop.
Connect with your environment, the trees, the plants. Feel
yes.
that they're alive and know that everything's for the best. Know God.
Know God.
Know that you're perfect. Fingerprint.
Know that, wow, you really did hold on to it. That's serious, man. It really is that way. It really is. There's only one of you.
And is there any parting words you want to give to the people before our next sit down?
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. There are no mistakes. Just man told you that was a mistake. Everything is part of the journey. Everything. Accept it all. There's no failures. They just told you that. If they had never told you failure, you wouldn't even say the word. It's life, and it's your journey. Embrace it. Keep moving.
Can I ask you a random question?
Absolutely.
What's your take on speaking negatively about others?
I don't do it. I don't do it. I have my opinion on certain things that I disagree with, but I don't have anything negative to say about anybody. I just don't.
And
it's just things I don't like that people might say, and I'll have my opinion.
What about gossip? Let's say your wife wants to talk to you about something, or like someone's want to. Do you take? Yeah, I don't want to hear about that.
No, I'll listen. It's my wife talking. I'll listen. Yeah, because I want to hear her out. Because
she has to let it out sometimes.
I have to hear her out because, I am her protector. So I need to hear what's going on with her. So whatever's going on, because I am her protector. She's the queen, but I'm the king. But I'm here to protect and lead. But at the same time, she's the lead. But if she's saying something, I need to listen what she's talking about because she may need me.
Chill, this might be the last time you're here, not because I don't want you back, but because when people hear this message, I think you're going to blow up and have less time for me. But hopefully you'll be able to come back.
I will always come back with you, brother. I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm honored to be your first guest on this show. And
what should we call it? What would I call it? I'm trying to think of things that have to do with purpose, meaning, living your best, but I don't want to water it down too much. I'm also trying to connect science and Judaism and religion and the creator of the universe and our place and all of that stuff.
Best day of your life.
Best day of your life podcast.
Best day of your life podcast.
Cool.
And push it. Because everybody should feel this, man. Everybody should feel how I feel right now.
I think that's your podcast. But I'm going to try and live it.
Yeah, at least get the button. Just get that button.
We'll
Best
get that
day
button.
of my life. Yeah, man.
Oh, you're saying
Right.
get,
Remember you said that button? Yeah, you said just push the button, best day of life.
Yeah.
That's just it's for me. I just love it. I live by it. It is my life. I will be this. When God take me away, I will be posing.
What does that mean, posing?
Like if it's my turn, I won't be running away. No, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking good
I'm on my
for
way.
my transformation, right? Because I know it's a transformation. I'm not.
Well, I'll
running
tell
from
you what.
something.
You're not coming back as a rock by running can.
No, I will not be a rock.
You're coming
That's
back
a fact.
you're coming back as another king.
I'll come back as another king, and I'll keep pushing the best day of my life until I can get the entire world on this page.
Amen.
Amen, brother.